Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear sisters. How are you? Yes, let's start our session now. I request Sister Mariam to start with the recitation, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعاديات ضبحا فالموريات قدحا فالمغيرات صبحا فأثرن به نقعا فوسطن به جمعا إن الإنسان لربه لكنود وإنه على ذلك لشهيد وإنه لحب الخير لشديد أفلا يعلم إذا بعثر ما في القبور وحصل ما في الصدور إن ربهم بهم يومئذ لخبير صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah khair. Let's wait just for one more minute and we will start, inshallah. 3:15. Yes. So the surah that we have today is Surah Al-Adiyat. So please recite the Root Sharif and then we will start. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي ربي زدني علما. Yes. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. Ayat 1. Okay, first let me start with the summary of the surah. Okay, so today we are going to study Surah Al-Adiyat, and Surah Al-Adiyat is a Makki surah. It has 11 verses and it vividly depicts horses charging fearlessly into battle, emphasizing their courage, loyalty, and obedience plus dedication. So this surah is basically talking about horses. Okay, but at the same time it talks about human nature as well. So we will learn in the surah, inshallah. The surah then contrasts these noble animals with humans who, despite receiving countless favors from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, often remain ungrateful, selfish, and negligent of their obligations towards their Lord. The surah then concludes by reminding mankind of the day of judgment. Yes, sorry, there was disturbance. The surah concludes by reminding mankind of the day of judgment, where every hidden intention and action will be brought forth. Okay, so basically this surah starts about is about horses. It starts about horses, then it compares these horses or these animals with men, and then it reminds us about the day of judgment. Okay, and then that day of judgment, what will happen on that day of judgment? On that day of judgment, people's intentions will come out, because here we can hide our intentions, but on the day of judgment, all our actions, all our deeds will be out there, will be seen, they will be noticed along with the intentions that we have. Okay, so ultimate knowledge of the intentions is with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and on that day of judgment, each and every action of ours will be examined along with the intention we have for it. Yes. So let's start by the steeds that run with panting. So here, this ayat is now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking an oath of the steeds or the horses. And how are they? They run. Immediately, just the whenever, as soon as they are commanded, immediately they start running. Just as they receive the command from their owner, the moment their owner asks them to run, they immediately start running and panting. So they are a very loyal breed, they are very loyal animals, and they are very loyal to their owners. What do they do? How do they run? Now it is described in the next ayat how they run. They strike spars of fire. So they run so quickly on the command of their owners that it seems that sparks of fire is flying and scouring to the raid at dawn. And they don't care about the time. Whenever their owner wants them to, they immediately run forward or race, be it dawn time or evening or any time. So, and they are scouring to the raid at dawn. So they are ready for working or running and obeying their owners at any time. Okay, so they don't make any excuses like us human beings. And what do? And they raise the dust in clouds the while. So when they are running, what happens? They, by their running, by their speed, high, they run on high speed. So dusts of cloud are raised by their running. And they penetrate forthwith as one into the midst of the flow of the foe. So they are not afraid of the enemies. Okay, or to obey any command of their owner, they are not afraid. If they are fighting, if their owners are fighting, they will together, all of them together will run, and as one they will immediately raid or penetrate the foes, the enemies. So whatever they're commanded to do, they do it immediately without any questioning, without any excuses. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing these horses here and these qualities of horses, which are very desirable and admirable qualities. Okay. Now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, after describing these qualities of the horses, is now talking about man. Verily, man, the disbeliever, is ungrateful to his Lord. So what is happening? Man, what does he do? He is not grateful to his Lord. So here the horses are compared with human beings. Okay, just as horses are so loyal, they don't care about themselves when it comes to obeying the commands of their owner. Just like the horses are so loyal and obedient to their owner. What mankind now here they are compared with man, human beings. So the disbeliever, what is he? He's a very ungrateful person. He is not thankful to his Lord. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed all of us with great, great blessings. We can't even count the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed us with. Right? None of us can count. Uncountable blessings we have. But even after having those uncountable blessings, a human being is extremely ungrateful. And to that, at 7, and to that he hears or he bears witness by his deeds. So now, how does a man show his ungratefulness? Can you tell me, dear sisters? Yes. Good. G. Yes, extremely good. So a person can show his or her ungratefulness by his arrogance, by transgressing his oppression, as well as his deeds. So the actions that we do, they are actually a test for a gratefulness or ungratefulness. The more grateful we are to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more good deeds we are going to do. The more we would love to please our Lord. Gratefulness and actions are directly proportional. And the more ungrateful a person is, what happens? The more his deeds will reflect his ungratefulness. The more disobedient that person becomes, he will be less and less thankful. He will start complaining, he or she. He will just spend his life fretfully and doing everything which is not like by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So actions are a test for gratefulness and ungratefulness. And he is that through his actions, the disbeliever, the one who doesn't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is bearing witness of his ungratefulness by his deeds. Now, coming to the 8th ayat, and verily he is violent in the love of wealth. Now, here, this ayat is describing the human nature in a very nice and apt way. People love wealth extremely, with extreme level of love they have for wealth. And this is there everywhere. Now we can see it in our societies. The whole society is now focusing on materialism, on status, on trends. The more a person has, the more honorable he is. Society doesn't even like to mention the name of someone who is not up to their mark. People will not even invite you to their homes if they consider you less than themselves. So the less amount of wealth a person has, the less honor or respect he has in society. Our respect and honor is now depending upon the wealth a person has and his status. And this was there earlier also, and this will be there till the day of Qiyamah. Especially the disbelievers, they love wealth so much. They love it with a violent love. The moment you talk about taking away their wealth, they will become violent. They're extreme in this love. And this ayat is beautifully describing this nature of human being. And we can see it everywhere around us these days. Even the TV shows that you watch, the social, the shorts, whatever you can watch, everywhere wealth is glorified. People are running after wealth, after fame. All the YouTube channels have been monetized. Why? To gain something, to gain money from this. No matter how much a person has, still he or she is running after more and more wealth. So, the ungrateful person, the characteristic of an ungrateful person is he loves wealth violently. So, we have to check ourselves. Where do we stand? Are we grateful for Allah's blessings? Are we thanking Him through our deeds? Or is my greed increasing day by day? My love for wealth increasing? See, it's normal and natural to have a likeness for wealth. But if that, likeness becomes love, extreme love or violent love, then this is something we should be very careful about. This is the point which reaches a danger level. And after that, we don't care whether the wealth is coming from halal or haram. We don't care. Only we care about the wealth. Now, coming to the next ayat, ayat 9. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is again questioning us in a very beautiful way, imparting knowledge through questioning. Knows he not that when the contents of the grave are poured forth, all mankind is resurrected? So doesn't he know that there will be a time when everything will come out? When all his misdeeds, all his illegal activities through which he accumulated wealth will come out? Doesn't he know this? that there's going to be a time when each and every secret will be revealed. And what they have hidden in the graves, it will come out that day. So he doesn't know that he has to face a day of accountability. He has to give his account from where he earned wealth. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is questioning, knows he not that when the contents of the grave are poured forth, that day there will be no secret at all. Each and everything will be revealed. Even the secrets of our hearts will be revealed. Our intentions will be revealed. Everything. The evil thought that we thought about someone, that will also be revealed. Then Ayat 10 tells us, and that which is in the breasts of men shall be made known. Now again, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is questioning us. So doesn't he know that on that day what will happen? On that day, the secrets of the hearts will be revealed, will be known. Doesn't he know that? So he is in ghaflat. He is heedless. He is unaware of these things, and he is loving wealth and accumulating and loving wealth so violently that he has forgotten everything. He has forgotten his day of accountability. He is lost in the deceptions of this world. Now here in the next ayat, ayat 11, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us, verily, that day, that is the day of resurrection, their Lord will be well acquainted with them. So on that day, what will happen? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is warning us beforehand, warning mankind beforehand about that day. And what will happen that day? That day, their Lord will be well acquainted with each and everything they have done, and with them also. And they will be rewarded according to what they have done, according to their deeds. So with this surah ends here. So it's a very short surah. It's Makki surah based on just 11 ayats, but it has very deep meanings, and it also depicts or draws the personality in a very beautiful way, the personality of an ungrateful disbeliever. So the traits that are mentioned here, we should learn these traits, we should remember them. So what are the traits of the ungrateful disbeliever? First of all, he is ungrateful. He is never happy or content or satisfied. You know, if there is a moment, a person who has faith, he will be satisfied and happy with whatever amount he has. Even if he has less wealth, he will be content and happy and grateful with it. He will love that life because he knows that the ultimate destination is the hereafter, and this life is a test. But the ungrateful disbeliever, what will he do? No matter how much he has, he will never remember, never be thankful for Allah's blessings, and he will always be ungrateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is his first characteristic, that is ungratefulness. Then the second characteristic is, through his deeds, he will show the ungratefulness. That is through his disobedience. He will never obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will do everything that he desires. He will follow his desires, his self, his nafs completely. Okay? Then third characteristic is, he has love for wealth, a very violent kind of love for wealth. He loves wealth more than anything. He doesn't care about anything. His love for wealth is extreme, violent. And you know, these days, not only these days, those who are greedy for wealth, they even, you know, kill their own relatives for this wealth. Many times you must have heard, brother has killed his own brother for property. So these things are very common, and they exist, especially for those who love this world, who are violent in the love of this wealth. And then after that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us or questioning us about the knowledge of the hereafter, about the heedlessness of the ungrateful man. What is what now, coming to the next characteristic? What is his characteristic? He is unaware of the hereafter. He is unaware of giving an account. He thinks that the life of this world is everything. Okay, and with that, then the surah will conclude after telling us that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows everything, and on the day of Qiyamah, everything will be revealed, even the intentions that we have behind our deeds, it will be revealed. So, it's very, very important for us every day to remind ourselves or to do taskiyah of our or to rectify our intentions. That whatever I'm doing, why am I doing this? Am I doing this for any worldly gain, or am I doing this action purely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So we have to constantly keep on checking ourselves and our intentions. Because shaitan comes and he plays a part, and maybe we started a good deed with the right intention, but in the middle of the path we are deceived by him and we start pleasing people rather than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have to keep on checking our intentions, keep on rectifying our intentions, and making our intentions only and only for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Yes. So now I'll come to the reflection and the action points of this surah. Reflection points. Point 1. The powerful imagery of charging horses reflects dedication and obedience. So here this ayat shows dedication or depicts dedication and obedience. Just like the horses are obedient and dedicated to their owner, we humans have to be dedicated and obedient to our Creator. This dedication and obedience will lead us to Jannah, inshallah. Okay, then reflection point 2. Animals demonstrate remarkable loyalty and bravery, unlike humans who often falter. This characteristic is very much liked and admired by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and even human beings. Don't we like if our pets immediately obey our commands? All of us would be happy. Suppose I'm, keeping some pet and feeding that pet and taking care of that pet. And horses are especially groomed for wars and also groomed for races. So suppose someone is grooming a horse for a race, and that horse, the moment the race comes, that horse refuses to run. So the person will be very much disappointed and feel bad that I have spent so much energy and time with this horse, but what this horse is doing, not obeying me in the race, leaving me. Similarly, when humans don't obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's a very disappointing thing. So we should immediately do what we are commanded to do. And what are the things that we can do immediately? Can you tell me? When immediately the azan is proclaimed, we can offer salah. This act we can do immediately. We should not delay it. Right? And what are the other things we can immediately do? See, it depends upon us what things we keep as priority. We should always keep Allah's deen, Allah and His deen as our priority. Right? What we do? We complete all the work, and when we are tired, we stand up for prayer. We are giving priority to this world. So we should never do that. Immediately, we should all try, the moment the azan is proclaimed, we should be fresh and offer salah and establish salah immediately. Right? We should stop delaying any act of obedience. Just like the horses immediately run the moment they are commanded to. Okay? So, coming to the third reflection point, human gratitude is now shown here. Comparison is made with human you Yes, I'm sorry. Suddenly the link was broken. Okay. So I was discussing uh, how human ingratitude is contrasting sharply with the horse's unwavering loyalty. Now, coming to reflection point 4, humans often disregard Allah's blessings despite being fully aware of them. So, what they do, they disregard it. And humans tend to forget their accountability before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the life of this world deceives us. We are caught up in deceptions so much that we often forget the day of reckoning, the day we have to go and answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So do we all remember the judgment day every day? Do we? No, we tend to forget. So that's why we have to keep on reminding ourselves of this day, which is fast approaching. And each and every day we are inching towards it. Then the surah highlights the natural selfishness which is ingrained in human nature. So this surah is highlighting the selfishness of human beings. And the love of worldly wealth often leads humans astray. So, wealth is also a great means of test, a great trial. We should not think that someone who has been blessed with a lot of wealth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves him a lot. No. Wealth is not a criteria of Allah's love. Never. It is a means of trial. The more the wealth a person has, the more will be his or her accountability. And this surah also tells us about the short-lived benefits of worldly gains, which are deceptive. So worldly gains will be temporary and only there till this world. It will never benefit any person's wealth, will never benefit him or her in the hereafter. Then this surah also highlights how a person's hidden thoughts, actions will be exposed. All our ill thoughts that we have about people or about things, or maybe nauzubillah about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they will be exposed on that day. And then this surah also highlights how true gratefulness can be achieved by obedience and submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the more we obey, the more we submit to Allah, the more grateful we are. This is a form of showing our obedience and submission. Okay, and we often tend to neglect the hereafter because of the attachment, because of our attachment to these worldly desires of accumulating wealth and getting famous and rich. Okay, now let's come. Okay, yeah, another 2 points are here. Human arrogance often blinds people from recognizing their faults. So when we are after this world, when this world is deceiving us, what happens? A wealthy person will become very arrogant, and that arrogance will blind the person. He will forget that he can ever be at fault. He will always think that other people are at fault. He will never realize that he can also be at fault. Okay, and materialism leads to spiritual negligence. The more we are involved in materials, the more we will neglect our spiritual side. And true success lies in pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and preparing for the hereafter. So, when in Ramzan, what is happening when we are spending less time on in kitchen, we are spending more time with the Quran, right? Don't you feel that when you're spending less time in the kitchen or less time in the worldly things, we are able to concentrate more on the Quran. We are able to improve our spiritual nature, right? Yes. We are each and every one of us is getting more time for that. So this is also a training period, which shows how we can be less materialistic and become more spiritual by spending more time on Allah's deen and his obedience. Right? Yes. Hello, can you hear me? Some sister has written not audible. Voice is coming. Am I audible? Piroza? Okay, okay. Yes, I'm sorry. There was, a break at that time. Okay. Now let me quickly start with the action points and inshallah we will end the surah. Okay, so can you tell me some action points that you get from this surah? Any sister wants to write? So the first action point that we get from here is gratitude. We should be grateful. We should consciously develop this gratefulness or gratitude into our personalities. Imbibe this quality in ourselves. And the more grateful we are, the more our blessings will increase. The more we will be at peace. We should not look at our problems, rather, we should look at our blessings. So, through this, we will become grateful, inshallah. The more we think about the things that we have been blessed with, the more grateful we will be. So, the first action point is thinking about your blessings and being grateful for them. This will help us imbibe attitude of gratefulness into our personalities. Okay? And then we have to check our loyalty. The second action point is we have to check ourselves. Are we loyal to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Are we dedicated to our deen? Are we immediately racing to fulfill the religious duties or obligations Allah has given us? Or is our attitude of the one who is heedless? We have to check our loyalties. Okay? And how can we check that? Through our actions, daily actions. Nobody can check that. Only you yourself can check your own loyalty to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How? Through your actions. One day just think and reflect on your day, that how you have spent that day and which actions you did which were purely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how quickly you raced or you ran to obey his command. So through this we can check our loyalties. Okay, so Quran is basically there to improve us, to help us reconnect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to help develop positive qualities into ourselves, to help us become the best version of ourselves. Okay? And then we should engage in daily reflections also, to identify where am I faltering, which areas am I not able to work upon. Then I have to identify those areas and work upon that. And then I have to regularly keep on reminding myself of the day of judgment. Okay, so that, and also that I have to give account for this action. So this can be done only when I sit and ponder over my day, when I contemplate over my activities, my deeds, that these deeds that I have done today, where do I stand with them? Will these deeds or these actions of mine will take me to Jannah, or will these take away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So this is for us to reflect and think about. Then we have to also limit our excessive attachment to materialistic pursuits and worldly gains. So we have to check ourselves. What is that which I love? Okay? Do I love to wear brands? Do I love to flaunt the things that I'm wearing? What am I doing? So I have to check my own self. And whenever I find that yes, my love for this worldly thing is great, then I have to start limiting that love. Okay? Limit myself. And also for this, we have to do dua that Allah fill my heart with your love alone and take me away from any kind of worldly love, which takes me away from you. And we should always, what is the best way of taking away the love of wealth from our hearts? That is charity. The more we do charity, the less will be our love for wealth. You know, what we are spending is actually what we are accumulating for ourselves in the future. The more you spend, the more you're making your bank balance in heaven, in Jannah. What you're consuming is just your worldly consumption, nothing else. But what you're actually spending is in charity is something which is stored for you. So that is my actual bank balance. I should think like that. Then I will be able to do more and more charity. And charity is something which increases gratefulness also. And charity increases blessings also. So the more charity we do, the more grateful we will become, the more our blessings will increase. And now only few days of Ramzan is left, so we should do more and more charity, inshallah. And then we should also share the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us with others. For example, if someone has been given knowledge, she should share it with others. If someone has been giving wealth, she should share it with others. This will make us more grateful and this will increase our blessings also. And then we should cultivate humility into ourselves. Okay, and we should also keep on making regular dua to help overcome ingratitude and negligence and heedlessness. So dua is, a part of worship. The more dua we do, the more we are loved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do you make dua often? Ramzan is gone, so all of us do. But in ordinary days, do we make dua every day? We should make asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a part of our daily life. Every day we should have a list and do duas. And now see, now this Shab-e Qadr is coming, so we should all make a list of the things that I want the whole year through. And then sit on the day of Shab-e Qadr and beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for those things. Just like a kid is asking his mother or begging his mother, na, that mom, I want this, mom, I want this. Similarly, we should, in a very humble way, we should beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all the things that we need, for all the things that we love. We should beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And especially we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us his love. That is the best blessing we can have, the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the best day, nights that are coming. We should utilize it in the best way by completely doing dua and submitting ourselves and being grateful. Okay, let's spend the last part of Ramadan in gratefulness, in doing dua, in begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in asking forgiveness, and in asking for Jannah. Okay, so with that, I will end my session. Inshallah, only 2-3 more surah. No, not 2-3 more. I think 6-7 more sessions are left. So hope to meet you there also. Jazakallah khair for joining this session. Any sister wants to add anything? Yes, dua is the essence of ibadah. Jazakallah khair. Okay, so with that, the session ends. Astaghfirullahi Rabbi min kulli zambi wa tujay wa salamun alal mursaleen walhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear sisters.